Never even in my dreams did I ever think of starting my own firm. I've always wanted to be an architect. The architecture is a great blend of art and technical knowledge. It's the ability to create something new always, the ability to find solutions to existing problems, and also the ability to anticipate problems and find their solutions. It was not a firm which was started on an impulse or anything like that. When I started the firm, that was my intent, that every person in the firm, whoever works on a particular project, actually has that holistic view of what they are trying to achieve. Biggest turning points was when we did Times Square Mall. It was a very good initiation into doing one showroom, but doing so many showrooms, and what would the public areas look like? How does a person going into a public space like Times Square navigate the place? So the signages, the entries, the exits, then dealing with future tenants. In Times Square itself, we have this huge box store, which is Sharaf DG, which was actually designed by a Japanese architect. And it was a real learning of how meticulous the design is done. At that point, it was like, yes, this is the learning which we need to implement. Every detail, every corner was done so beautifully. After that, I think one of the major projects, I'm talking in scale, was MIT University. When the project came into the office, we were a team of 8. And this was huge. In fact, they liked our project so much that they started using our drawings as base drawings instead of using the architect's drawings. That gave us a lot of confidence. With that in background, we did that 11-story headquarters of CRDB Bank. That was a challenge, not as in a design process, but a new market, presenting to boards, which we had never done. And these boards are like 30 members, and one person likes it, everybody likes it. One person doesn't like it, everybody doesn't like it, So how do you navigate that sort of emotion? And the culmination of that was, besides the interior design, they gave us the art package. Because it's a glass and steel building, it can be anywhere in the world. We wanted Tanzania to come into that building. And that's when we started talking to local artists. And it was a real experience. What do we really mean by design consciousness? It's just about being conscious. What is being conscious? Is being aware, being focused. And that's what we want people to understand, that every part of design has an effect on you. And so when you design, be conscious of whatever we are designing. Aware that every line you draw has an impact. Every placement of a furniture, placement of a light, placement of a grill, placement of anything has an impact on the well-being of people. And this is why our philosophy of design consciousness is what we like to engage in all our designs. As you go up the corporate ladder, I think the only way is to create the solution and demonstrate to them what would be the advantage of doing this versus that. As an example, we did it in Al Wahda Mall, where the shop fronts were only 3 meters high, but there was a huge space which was available above that, and we managed to convince the client to give very high shop fronts. Now the shop fronts can go as high as 7 meters. So suddenly there's a grandeur to that place. But you have to convince them with a solution. It's not verbal talking. So that comes in with a lot of research which we do. Budgets are extremely important. From a client's perspective, he needs to understand what is his spend. From a design perspective, we need to understand what we are designing for. You can have a car, which can be a Corolla, can be a Mercedes, but both go from A to B. Only way to understand is what is our spend. IRD spends a lot of time with suppliers, installers, specialists, understanding products, their usage, and where they can be placed. This helps us in the act of a value engineered scenario where we know what can be replaced by what. And this is our strength through our experience, where we are able to give the same visual effect with different materials. Over the years, I think the need for anybody to come back to IR design is, I think it's 3 pillars which we can say. One is the experience. So when I say experience, it's just not the years and the people who are doing things as expertise, core expertise. The second pillar would be our technical knowledge. We have wide sectors, so we have constant learning from one sector to another sector, and that really helps us to be so agile. The third pillar which we stand on is practical knowledge. We don't make graphic designs, we make practical designs. So what is practical knowledge? What's happening in the market? You really need to be constantly seeing what are the new things coming in the market. And same goes when you have this bundle of knowledge, where do you apply it? So these are the 3 pillars I think we really stand on. From concept to construction, we will deliver. IRD completed 20 years in the industry, and we celebrated this milestone achievement with those who supported us over the years and made us who we are today. We want to do good design. We want to ensure that what we are doing is valuable for our clients. We would like to bring a smaller group of teams, 5-6 people, sort of multiply them. We would really like to have representative offices in the regions which we have already worked. For the next 5 years, our vision in a larger expanse is to be the voice of sustainability. The voice to understand that small changes can lead to large impacts. In a geographical context, we would like to work in India and in Africa. Both have very deep-rooted histories. And we want to understand in these constrained scenarios how repurposing and reusing existing built environments for modern use. IR design should be known for good, sensible, practical design solutions. We should be known to create designs which last.